you look at the biggest reasons why people fail, they say capital is one of them, but I think it's timing a lot of times, or there's a team issue. Like it translates to wasted time.
Hi, my name is Eric Baxley. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Nobody Studios. Today, I'm really happy to be joined by Mark McNally, CEO of Nobody Studios. I'm going to bring up the next topic, which I'll call, for lack of a better term, operator control. That's several benefits. So we can, as a founder comes on board, as we already shared with you, we have the machinery to help that co-build it, right? Build company scale and exit them. But here is what is unique. Certainly investors, it lights up their eyes. Hey, if company 4 is moving faster to the goal line, use your sports analogy, football, soccer, whatever, closer to the goal, founder number 10, 4 companies over, will want to cheer you on to help you, right? But in addition, we can cross-license IP. We can, maybe pause something that's a little bit too early to the market, or speed it up. We're very much active, so we can shuffle things around to double down on the bets that are going to win.
Yeah, from purely an investor point of view, we have, as founders of these companies, controlling holder interest of these companies. And it gives us some powers, I say, that other people don't have as passive investors. That is not just powers we have, they're fundamental that we use them and flex them in order to mitigate the risk of early stage startups and unlock the value. I've been a part of too many startups, and I've invested in too many startups where you realize, ooh, that was a cool idea, but it's too early, or it was a cool idea, but the technology changed, or we got into the market and it was wrong, or timing wasn't right, or there's a regulatory issue. There's always 100 reasons. If you look at the biggest reasons why people fail, they say capital is one of them, but I think it's timing a lot of times, or there's a team issue. Like it translates to wasted time. If you spend a few years trying to figure something out and it doesn't work, you spent way too much money, the cap table's messed up, and those companies fail, even though it might have been the right idea, right? And we have the obligation early on to be tinkering with that. We love it, but pause. It's not getting the signal we want yet. Pause it. Let's prioritize this. Or this idea is too big. Let's split it into multiple ideas. Or this is a great idea, but let's get it focused just on this industry and spin off this technology and do multiple other industries as separate companies, right? And because the founders that work with us are part of the studio, they also can make those same decisions with us, and it's a positive thing. We're in frankly a venture capital environment. In the early stage, you're usually a victim of those VC kind of decisions. And by the way, I don't compare us to VCs. Our job is to focus on early stage creation, and at some point, companies need real capital to scale, and the VC market's got that nailed. So we're not trying to compete there.
Once again, I always like to put myself in people's shoes. Like, why do founders, right, want to join us? We can talk a little bit why people like you and me want to be part of Nobody Studios itself. Maybe we get to that in a little bit. But I'm thinking of investors. And so I've talked to quite a few potential investors. Quite a few friends of mine and acquaintances have come on board. Here's what attracts them, no particular order. One would be obviously the big vision, right? People love a big vision, not some little product or feature. 100 AI companies over 5 years. That's like, wow, how are you going to do that? That gets people's attention. And when they drill down, they're like, yeah, that's definitely doable. So one, I think, is the vision. 2 would be that operator control, right? That ability to look at companies and advance them faster along. 3, we have the machinery. But 4 would be you're not locking up your capital for 10 years, and gosh, I hope that goes well. But rather, you're seeing exits, right, on a predictable. We're trying to exit companies, 24 to 36 month timeframes, and we're probably doing about 20 a year. That gets investors excited. Is that fair?
Yeah, it is. One of the things that I've always thought from the beginning is our financial models, the way we built it, is very compelling. When we start companies, we're large shareholder, majority shareholders. We're optimizing for early to mid-stage exits, which we're still very large shareholders. And the way our model is, it's not a fund per se. People are investing into the parent company, just like I own and you own. So, and we're always incentivized the exact same way investors are. We build companies and we exit them. And when that happens, we pay out distributions immediately. So, we're probably within 12 months of our first exit from where we stand today. And investors that joined 2 years ago and investors that joined today are going to be part of that exit. And when you start to stack this up with the numbers we're trying to build, there'll be a day that we have, 2 a year. There'll be a day that we have 2 a month, right? And those exits will be, it only takes a few of those to really make all the investors quite happy. And as you start to stack this with some repetitive, in predictability, it gets pretty exciting. So.